I'm VBS Office, and in this video I will be showing you how to make an Atari Breakout game in Phaser. So, the first thing we need to do is to make a folder where we're going to store everything. So, let's put it in... We'll put it in here. Atari Breakout. Oops. Breakout. Okay. So now we need to open this folder in our code editor, which is in this case Visual Studio Code. So let's go pull it up. Open folder, code projects, Phaser, Atari Breakout. Okay. So, we have opened the folder, and now the first thing we're going to do is make some files and folders to store all of our code in. So let's go folder, assets, and then a folder inside assets. You want to go lib for our libraries, and then we're going to make a file. No, we don't want to make it in it. We want to make a file outside of the folder called index.html. So in our root directory, and then we create another one called script.js. So now we need to go find our libraries. So let's go online and search up phaser.io. So go to phaser.io, press download and get started, press download Phaser from GitHub, and press min.js. Okay. So now we need to move this to our game directory, or library directory actually. So assets, libraries, and I can move it there. And then it looks something like this. Good. And then let's pull up our index.html file. And we are going to just set a simple title. I'll do Atari Breakout VBS Office. You can do whatever you like in this here. And so now we need to make a area where our game is going to be created. So we'll just make a div and give it an ID of game, so that Phaser can later access it to create everything in. So now let's create an H1 and just say Atari Breakout. I keep getting this wrong today. So now we need to import our libraries and get some CSS on this web page. So we can do that by going script, source, assets, lib, phaser.min.js. Okay. So then at the end of the body tag, we want to make script tag and give it source of script.js. Okay, and now after this script tag we have to add some style, a style tag, so that usually I define this in a separate CSS file, but I'm not really going to do that today because this is faster. But we need to just set a font family to a better one, and we need to set the margins of the page to 0. Now, let's go try it out. Double click it, and you should get something like this, just simple Atari Breakout. So now we need to start working on the actual game. So open up script.js, and we're going to have to get some code that we can, we need some starting code, which you can get from the description, no, just follow this. Okay, so the first thing we need to do with this is to make a game configuration, so we'll start in a variable called config, and this is a standard Phaser configuration variable. So in here we can go type is Phaser.auto, And what this does is detect if the browser can support WebGL, and if it can, then it'll use WebGL, otherwise it'll just fall back to Canvas. But we don't need Canvas. It's basically the same thing. So, and then we need to set the parent of the game to be inside of our div where we want it to be. So to do that, we'll define parent and then game, which is the ID of our div where it should be stored in. And then we need to define a width and a height for the game. So we'll do 800 by 600. Okay. And then we are going to define a scene. So, we're going to define a scene. So what the game will load in, Phaser will load in. Let's go create. We'll just define a function as create. We'll create the function later, but we'll go update for update. We'll go update. So what this does is take find create and use it as a main load function, and then update, it'll run it like every frame. Okay, so then we need to define our physics engine so we can make stuff move and make stuff detect when it's collided and make stuff destroy. So we're going to define that by going physics defaults arcade. So we're going to use the built-in arcade physics library. I'm going to go default, then we want to set preferences for arcade like this. I think yeah, that's right. And then we'll go here. We want to define our gravity and our debug. So gravity, well, we actually don't need gravity for this project, so go Y0. So we don't need gravity. It'll just disable gravity altogether. And then we'll go debug false, because we don't actually need to detect the things. Whatever. Well, now we actually need, this is actually going to store the options for the game, but we actually need to create the game. So to do that, you can go var game equals, var game equals new, which is basically going to just define a new object in JavaScript. Phaser.game config. So it takes all the settings from the config variable. And then let's reload the page. Did I save it? Yeah, I did. Something's wrong here. Let's check for errors. Create is not defined. I forgot something. Yeah, we actually need to make our create and update functions. Silly me. So let's just make some empty functions so that it will actually load the game. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, now we have an empty black square, but if you open up the console, you can see Phaser version and then the render, so WebGL because we chose auto, and my browser can support WebGL, so it uses WebGL. So now let's go ahead and start with the game. So we will start with by making some variables up here. So var ball. We don't need to put anything in it. We'll do that later. We'll go var paddle and var lives to choose how many lives we have. We'll do 3. And then we'll do var score. Var score equals 0 because, score equals 0 because they haven't broken anything yet. Okay, so then we need to define some text for our score and our lives. So we'll go lives text, var score text. And then we need to set some settings for a brick field. So we'll do that by going var brick info. By the way, this snippet is taken directly from the 2D Breakout game using Phaser 2 snippet from MDN Mozilla. So if you want to build on a Phaser 2, you can find a simpler guide there. So let's define our width and our height. So we'll go 50 and 20. This is the width of our brick field. Height 20. And then we need to define some count, so like how many bricks there'll be. So we need to set some rows. So we'll just go row is 4. We have 4 rows. And how many columns do we have? We have 12 columns. So we'll go like this, and then we will take we need to set their offset. So set their positions. Offset top, I'll just go 90. And for left, we need to go to 60. Okay, so then we need to set some padding. So we'll just go padding 10. This is going to be the padding between each brick. So then we need to define a scene variable to hold the actual game when we're going to be creating it in later. So like we can use it outside of our create and update functions. So now let's define some stuff. Let's start with scene. Let's go scene equals this. So you can use it. And then let's go paddle equals scene dot add dot rectangle, because it's going to be a little rectangle that moves across the screen. Let's go 400 by 570 for X and Y. And then for length and width, we'll go 140 by 10. And then for the color, we'll just go white. So F, 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 F. Okay, so now let's reload it. And we should have a paddle in the center. And okay, so now we need to figure out how to control this, right? So for this, we're gonna go make some new lines. Scene dot input dot on pointer move and function. We'll go pointer so that we can access where the position is. And then we can go on pointer move, and we can go paddle dot set position. We'll go pointer dot x, so the horizontal plane where the pointer was moved. And then we'll just set it to its original y, so we'll go paddle dot y, so it doesn't move on the y part. Okay, so now you can control it by moving the mouse like this. So now we will need to
I'm gonna take a shower.
So now we will define our ball. So the ball is gonna move and it's gonna like destroy the bricks. So we'll go ball equals scene dot add dot circle. So just going to be a standard circle. We'll go 400 by 300 to put it in the middle of the canvas. And 10 for the, I think, width. And then for the color, again, we'll just go white. So 0 times F, 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 F. Okay. So now when you reload it, you have a ball in the middle. But now we need to make it move, of course. So the first thing we have to do is enable physics so that we can make it move. So we'll just move this back a bit. And then we'll go ball, scene dot physics dot add dot existing. And then we'll go paddle. We'll start with the paddle. Actually, no. We'll start with the ball. So we need. And then we will add the paddle as well. Paddle. Okay, so now if you look at it again, nothing should really happen, but really they have physics now, so you can now make them move. So the next thing we need to do is go down here and go ball.body.velocity .x equals 250. So this is the speed that the ball will move at. And we need to do the same for y. So we'll go, ball.body.velocity.y equals 250. So now you reload it. It'll just move, but it'll kind of go out. So now we need to make a bounce. So for that we'll go ball.body.collide world bounds equals true. Okay, and now when you reload it, things should just not fall out, but it'll stay there. So we need to make a bounce, of course. So to do that, we'll go ball.body.bounce.x. Oh no, we'll start with y equals 1. We'll go ball.body.bounce.x equals 1 to make it bounce. And now, reload it, it should bounce off the walls and that. So now we need to actually make it bounce off the paddle instead of the walls. Well, both actually. So for this, we need to make the paddle immovable so the paddle won't fly off the screen when the ball smacks it. So we'll go paddle.body.immovable equals true. Okay. So now we need to set a collider for the paddle and ball. So we'll go scene.add.collider ball and paddle and ball, and we'll go bounce off paddle for the callback. Bounce off paddle. Okay. And now we need to create, no. Let's test it. So we should be able, bounce off paddle is not defined. Of course. So we need to make a bounce off paddle function. And to do that, we'll go function bounce off paddle. And we will bounce up. Okay, so now you need to set its velocity again to go where you hit it on, because that's the whole strategy of Atari Breakout, so that you can actually hit it off the paddle where you hit it instead of it just bounces right off and there's no skill. So we'll go ball.body.velocity.x equals -1 times 5 times paddle.x minus ball.x. So then it should look, silly me, it's not scene.add.collider, scene.physics.add.collider. Okay, now it should work properly. There we go. So now you can bounce it off like this. Ooh. Like that. And it also speeds up where you hit it on it. If you hit it in the middle, it goes a little bit slower. but if you hit it off the end, it goes a bit faster. So now we need to make a couple bricks so that we can actually destroy them. So to do this, we need to first make a function called create bricks. So we'll go function create bricks, and we need to call that right when we are going to right after you have the collider over here. So we'll go create bricks. So for this, basically we're gonna have to loop through how many the rows and columns that we need. So for this, we'll go for C equals 0. So now we're gonna loop through the columns. C less than brick info dot count dot call, and then we'll call, and then we'll go C++. So every time it loops through it, it'll just add another one to the variable C. So now I need to do the same for the rows. For R equals 0, R is less than brick info dot count dot row. So we need to go R++. And then we can actually make the bricks. So first we have to define their X and Y. Brick X bar brick Y. And then in this X and Y we can go C times brick info dot width, brick info dot width plus brick info dot padding, brick info dot padding. Okay, and then we need to go here plus brick info dot offset dot left. Okay, and then we'll do the same for here. So we'll just copy and paste this code over to here. And we'll go C times brick info dot height. Actually, no. We don't want C for this. We want rows. So R, brick info dot padding, yes. Brick info dot offset dot top. Okay. So now we have the X and Y. So now we just need to create them, but we need to manage them later. So to keep track of them, this is very dirty code, but it works, so it'll be fine. You need to call a function that we'll later do, and then in that we need to create a new sprite so that it'll pass the sprite once it's created to the manage as a parameter. Very dirty. So we'll go scene.physics.add.existing. This is about to get more dirty because now I need to create it in here. Scene.add.rectangle, and let's go brick X, brick Y, and then we'll go brick Y, and then we'll go 50 and 20 for the width and height. 50, 20, and then we need 0 times F for the color, just like the other ones. And then we're just going to go function manage to define a function to manage it later. And we'll just go brick, because, yeah, a brick, like this. So now, when you reload it, you should have unexpected token. Oh. Oops. That is actually expected though. So in our for loops we have something wrong. C++ R++. Why are we having an error here? Oh. Oh, silly me. I did a comma here instead of that. Okay, let's try that again. Now you should have some bricks, and it should look something like this. But we actually need to destroy them, because that's the whole nature of the game Atari Breakout. We need to actually break the bricks. So in our manage, we need to first make it so that they can bounce off, and like I mentioned earlier, so that the brick won't fly off the screen. So let's go brick.body.immovable equals true. Also, this helps so that it'll bounce properly. And then we'll go scene.physics.add.collider to collide the ball and the brick. And then we'll go function, just a immediate callback, and then we'll go ball hit brick. So now we actually need to make a function of ball hit brick. So let's go ball hit brick. Okay, and then we need to go brick.destroy. And then bricks. No. Oh, the score plus. Sorry. So you need to increase your score every time you hit it. And now, when you reload it, looks like this. So they'll destroy now, and your score should increase too. So, the next thing you need to do is to make some text to actually tell you the score and also the lives you have. And then we also need to make a game over function in a way that you can lose lives when you hit the bottom. And then we shall be done. So let's do that. The first thing we need to do is create the text. So let's go, actually no, we're going to create the lava first. So under paddle ball, we're going to go lava as well. So lava equals scene.add.rectangle. And for the position, we'll just go 0 and 600 and 2,000 or whatever that is. I don't know. And then I'll go 10, 0 times at. No. We want this to be the same color as the canvas, so we'll just make it black. Okay. And now you shouldn't really see a difference because it's black at the bottom, but that's okay. And now we need to add this to physics like we did with the ball and the paddle. So we'll go lava, and then we need to set the lava to be immovable, so again it won't fly off the screen when something hits it. So go lava.body.immovable equals true. And then we need to, okay, what's next? We're actually really good so far, but we need to add our score and our lives, so let's just do that. Score text, I should know, go like, yeah, clean it up a bit. Score text equals scene.add.text. And we will go 16 by 16 and and score. Join with the score you have, which is going to be 0, so it doesn't really matter. And then we need to go font size. I need some water. Font size to be 32 pixels. And then fill, so the color it has to be fill. And then we'll just do a hexadecimal value of white. Okay, and now when you reload it, it should say score 0 at the top, but we also need it to say lives at the other side. So we'll do basically the same thing for lives, except create it in lives text, and we'll put lives, we'll go lives, then we'll go, yeah. Oh, no, but we need to change X and Y so it doesn't overlap. Let's change this to 630, and then we will reload it, and over here. So now we have lives on this side and score on the other. So now you can...
Oh, you got it?
But now we need to, every time you hit a brick, we need to actually show the score when it increases. So for this,
I have 5 sleeping bags now.
So for this, we will have to go, when we increase the score,
Tiger will make it?
Yeah, you've got 6 now.
need to go score text dot set text, and we'll just go score okay, and then when we so now let's try it out and see if that works. Okay, so now every time you hit a brick, you should see the score increasing. It was increasing before, but now you can actually see it. So now we need to make a live system so that it subtracts every time you hit the bottom. So to do that, we need to add a collider with the ball and lava. So let's do that over here. Oops. I don't know how I did that, but scene.physics, I'm not going to make that mistake again, .add.collider. Okay. And then we need to make ball and then lava. We'll go hit lava. Okay. Function hit lava to reduce the lives. So then in our hit lava, let's go lives minus. We'll go lives text dot set text lives to lives. Okay. So then let's try it out. 2, yep, if you saw it increase. 1, 0. So now I need to make 2 game over functions to define if you win or lose. And this is the last thing we're going to do before we're done. So in our update, which you haven't used at all, we can go if lives equals 0. Then we'll go location.reload. So you can just play again. Location.reload. And then let's go if score equals the bricks that we got, so we can actually do some math here to calculate how many bricks there are. We'll go brick info dot count dot row times brick info dot count dot call. Then we'll go location.reload. And then we're actually done. So let's play it. 2, 1, and then let's see if it reloads. Yep, it does. So now it should be, I'm actually gonna have to see to test this if they all destroy. So I'm gonna have to play this to make them all destroy. But it should work. There shouldn't be any problems. There are a few bugs in the program when I was showing you how to do it, so next time I should probably be a little bit more awake so I can realize those bugs before I test it. But that is fine. I solved them. Okay. There we go. Oh, came out the side. almost there. With the rows and columns like this, there should be about 48 bricks, maybe like 43 or something. I can't remember. But we'll just see how this goes. Okay, so far so good. All of our score is increasing, and our lives, I haven't hit the bottom yet, so our lives are staying the same. Oh, I just lost a life. That's silly. You have to get this fast before, so I can realize if it actually works or not. So then I can end the video. But if it doesn't work, then I will spend a long time debugging it, because I have no idea how it could possibly go wrong. I can't hit it. No! That was so close. This is terrible. There we go. There we go. There we go. Got him. I need 2 more hits. I just need 2 more hits. Yes, I got 1. Yay, it works. Okay, so that was today's video, and I'm VBS Office, and I'll see you next time. Bye!